Hello, I'm Mitzi Allen, and this is Going Against the Grain, a program designed to highlight the work of women in non-traditional careers and showcase the training and entrepreneurial opportunities available to young women in Antigua and Barbuda between the ages of 18 and 35. The Gilbert Agricultural and Rural Development Center has been at the forefront of vocational training and business advice to help launch careers and companies for the past 25 years. The Young Women Empowerment Program is another initiative focusing on young women. But before we share this new initiative, let's celebrate 3 women in very different, non-traditional careers. Meet 3 women who are going against the grain, choosing career paths that, while they're not exclusively for men, have been traditionally dominated by men. Janice O'Keefe, Damara Phillip, and Cassandra Murray are pioneers in their professions in Antigua and Barbuda. The Gilbert Agricultural and Rural Development Center celebrates these women. Here are their stories.
Years ago when I was a little girl, my father, apart from doing architectural drawings, he also was doing some land surveying, right? And I will go with him, as a little girl on the field, go on the land, hold the tape for him, that sort of thing. It ended there, but about 10 years after, as fate will have it, when I went to Trinidad and Tobago to live, the only job that was available with this specific construction company was as a trainee surveyor. And so I think my immediate boss was at the time very much impressed in terms of the way I approached the work, and secondly, my enthusiasm towards the work. And he suggested that I should do the diploma in surveying, which I did, was successful. And to cut a long story short, eventually I went to the University of the West Indies and did a Bachelor of Science degree, which I passed with honors. Surveying basically is just measurements, right? The ability to measure relative positions of features on the earth. And these features could be either man-made features or natural features. For women, I would think sometimes, for me, some men, they don't seem to respect the fact that women can also do land surveying. And secondly, sometimes, irrespective of the fact that I will try to ask some of the guys to, perform a particular task, whether on site or in the office, they may become a bit reluctant, they may feel a bit humiliated, and that may be a bit of a challenge sometimes. I really enjoy seeing like virgin land, and then maybe 3 years after, I see a major structure. And without the input of a land surveyor, the structure will not be there, because you have to really start from the ground.
It's not something that I grew up thinking that, oh, I want to be a DJ when I get older. I was heavily into music, playing instruments. I played the piano and the pan for a very short time, but I was very distracted while learning the instruments. I wasn't too fond of theory. I didn't like reading music, but I just loved playing instruments. I could hear something and then go back to the pan and play it, or the piano and play it. So when it comes to music and beats and stuff like that, I have a knack for that. When I was in first form, I started to collect music. The internet became popular, so people were downloading music. My mom was also a music collector, so I had a lot of CDs and records around me. And one day in first form, I went online and I realized that I stumbled upon a virtual DJ program. So it was a virtual turntable, and I had this collection of music, and I just started to mess around with it, and I basically taught myself how to mix. At first when I started, I wanted to do it for fun, but then you realize it takes up a lot of your time, energy, money, and I can't be unfair to myself and put all my time in this thing and not be rewarded for it. And then about 2 years ago, I have really sat down and said to myself, tomorrow, I'm going to make this into my business. So that's just a part of my business, because I do graphics as well. For me, as I said, you have to have a good music collection. You have to have that foundation of good music from way back, come all the way up, because you never know what type of audience you're gonna have, what setting it is. So you have to have a different variety of music. And you build from there, you build from your musical library, and then you have to have an ear for music. Because there are a lot of people who say they're DJs and they can't mix. And if you can't mix, you're defeating the whole purpose of calling yourself a DJ. So you have to make sure you can mix and you know what music to fit where. It just depends on where you're at, type of setting, the age group, stuff like that. It's more of go see a crowd, see what you're up against, and then plan in your head, okay, this is what I'm going to play tonight. I have actually looked at DJ schools. I was looking at one in New York, Scratch Academy. That DJ from Run DMC, he founded that academy, and you can start at a beginner level and they will teach you from scratch. Then there's intermediate. I would say that's me, because I know how to mix. I have the collection, I have the equipment, but I wouldn't say I can't scratch, but I'm not that versatile with scratching and the actual skills of, scratching the record. So that's something I personally would go and pursue. It's not even about the skills, because that's something anybody who's really into music can learn and pick up. But they have to be strong-minded and they have to know their worth. A lot of DJs aren't paid what they're worth here. So I would let them know that being a female DJ is very rare in Antigua, and I would encourage them to finish school. If they have plans for college and stuff like that, always pursue your studies, because you just never know what may happen. And for me, I honestly don't see myself DJing for the rest of my life. I want to have a family, children. I get older, my responsibilities are going to change. So, if you want to be a DJ, don't throw everything else out the window. Be well-rounded. I really haven't personally experienced any other males trying to talk me down or make me feel like I'm not worth it or I'm not a DJ. Most of the DJs here have been very supportive of me. I have a lot of friends that are DJs, and we talk and we share music, and I wouldn't say I have really experienced anything difficult. I don't know if it's because of the type of person I am. I don't take on things as much as the average person. So what may be a diss to somebody else wouldn't be to me. So far it's been a good journey. I haven't had any real bad experiences since being a DJ.
I started working at APUA, did summer jobs twice for 2 years, and then I started working full-time, and I was trying to figure out why I was doing what I was doing. What are the meanings behind some of the symbols, some of the acronyms, the terminology? I couldn't get it. Nobody in the office could explain it to me clearly, so I said, time to go to school and figure this out. So I decided to become an engineer. For the electrical engineers, we're the ones that make sense of the math issues. The mathematicians give you a pure problem, the engineers put it into the real world. So for me, that's what engineering is, creating stuff that can be applied in our real world. Unfortunately, in my instance, I didn't stay on the fabrication side of things too much. I got more into the administrative part of it. And for those of you who don't think it can be done, yes, it can be done, because you need people that can talk to the engineers and that can talk to management, that understand both languages, because they are no way the same. I started as summer jobs, and APUA allows you to do that. They have internship programs, and they basically say, well, we'll put you to work with the guys on a truck. They're doing the PBX work in the offices. They're doing the work on the lines. So I went ahead, I learned, I enjoyed it. I was able to touch down in every section of telephoning. And by the time I was finished my degree as an engineer, they put you in rotation through the various sections yet again. So you get it from a more management point of view now. And one thing led to the other. I have 4 to 5 guys that answer to me, and I'm enjoying it. I enjoy the interactions with my fellow workmates every day. I tell people, your workplace is your home. You spend 8 hours of daylight there, 5 days a week at least. If you don't enjoy where you're working, don't go. Find another job. I enjoy mine. The people I work with, best. For my earliest memories, I've been running with the boys. The guys seem to be more real in their interactions with people. Yes, they can be crass, they can be, the guys. But it's a real thing. When you're in a company of women, well, in an office situation, I have found they become very judgmental of the silliest of things. I can do it, I don't like it. So I prefer where I am, with the guys. Society says we should have challenges because you're a girl, you shouldn't do that. That never occurred to me. Like I said, I've been hanging with the boys from primary school. I was as good at them running up and down. I didn't see why I couldn't do this. My brain works. Why can't I do this? Nobody said to me, Cassie, you cannot do this. This is beyond you. No, so I did. And for those who say, well, how can I get into this? It's easy. Apply to a school. Once your grades are good, they'll take you. You study what you want to do. If you want to do basket weaving 101 while you are studying it, feel free. It doesn't hurt. But if this is what you want to do, don't let what other people might say, might think, stop you. It's not about that.
The Guard Center's Young Women Empowerment Program will bring attention to gender stereotyping in the vocational choices of women and will carry out activities to encourage women to enter into the more male-dominated employment and entrepreneurial areas. If you are a female between the ages of 18 to 35 and in search of a career development opportunity, it's time to check in at the Guard Center, where it's business unusual.
In 2012, the World Bank released a report looking at the effects of women's economic power in Latin America and in the Caribbean. And one of the things that they stated was that there was a significant participation, labor participation of women, 15% increase over that decade, in which they have significantly reduced poverty within their respective countries. And they have done so because of the many opportunities that are beginning to open up. There is a lot of research that shows that once women have access to economic power, that there's a filtering down effect in their families. There is an increase in education, there is an increase in the health care, and all of this, of course, generally improves the whole family situation and in respect the whole community. And so it's very exciting news to hear this.
That exciting news is because of young women like Nikisha Paul, who is one of only 2 women who has chosen an alternative career path as a meter reader with the Antigua Public Utilities Authority. In this male-dominated field, she reads a total of 4,000 meters in 4 zones monthly.
I decided to become a meter reader because that's the only thing that was offered to me at the time, and I see it as a stepping stone into the company to better myself. You have to have a solid secondary school education. Also, the authority provides training in meter reading for like a 2-month period, and that's basically it. The job entails like just reading the meter, just checking the numbers on the meter, both light and water. We drop bills. At the beginning of every month, we read for 2 weeks for a 10-day reading period, and then coming towards the end of the month, we drop bills. Also, it entails disconnections. We go out with a crew, with some linesmen, and we disconnect light and water. I love my job. I enjoy working. This is my office. There's no one out here to bother me except my customers. no other employees to distract me. I just do my work on a day-to-day basis.
There are still some constraints for women in terms of the expansion of their economic opportunities. There is some problems with women having access to professional networks which will assist them in the exchange of ideas, and also in terms of training, financial management. Those are areas which many women are weak in. And so the Guard Center is specifically concentrating on these areas, not only in terms of financial management, but opening up areas which women normally don't tread, the so-called non-traditional areas, which will give them a lot more opportunities.
In partnership with the European Union, the Gilbert Agricultural and Rural Development Center has developed courses that offer women career opportunities in non-traditional areas, from information technology, agriculture, and business enterprise to operating heavy-duty equipment. The program is designed to train and empower young women between the ages of 16 and 35 who are unemployed or underemployed. It is hoped that through the Young Women Empowerment Program, they will become entrepreneurs.
A lot of young women especially have families to support, or they have lots of dreams but no way to fulfill these dreams. So we are empowering these young women to realize that doing a particular course doesn't necessarily mean that you're going to stay that course, but it's a stepping stone for you to get somewhere else. So they come here, they may learn something as simple as weaving or something as technical as agriculture. Agriculture may take you to doing crop production, doing nursery management, or any number of things within agriculture, but you don't have to stay in the fields. It can lead you to being a pest manager so that you can go on to study further. So this is your stepping stone to do whatever it is that you really want to do.
We're very excited to offer and expose our women to this, and to encourage them to step out, because it's very difficult when you're accustomed to the traditional role to be able to change and look at, yes, I can do this.
The Guard Center is very, very accessible. We are on Facebook, we are on the World Wide Web, we are right here. We have now even opened an office in St. John's so that it becomes even more accessible, because we realize that our location, being very out of town, is inconvenient for a lot of folks. So what we have done is made it possible for you to go to our St. John's office, which is at the Gender Affairs building, and you can fill out the application forms. Once you're done filling out the application forms, and we tell you whatever course it is that we have. So we want to give them that whole tunnel vision opened up so that it becomes world vision.
The Gilbert Agricultural and Rural Development Center now has a business development unit where men and women can get all the help they need to start their own business. Just apply. The Gilbert Agricultural and Rural Development Center's Business Development Unit is a critical component of the Young Women Empowerment Program. The Business Development Unit is a one-stop venue providing a number of support services to the graduates of the Guard Entrepreneurial Empowerment Program.
It's expected that after completion of the courses that they would hope to look to start their own businesses, even for those who may be walk-ins, not really coming through the courses themselves, really per se, but being able to give them that support from the idea to the end product of actually owning your own business, where even getting funding if necessary is needed, and even being placed with mentors, especially for those who came through the courses. So it's a wider area that we try to expand it to them, looking at how you can even work with, taking an idea, put it to the business plan, having it vetted by either myself or one of my colleagues, potentially putting you with a mentor that will expose you to other professional links out there, looking at different market strategies and so forth, giving you a better professional feel of just even pitching ideas at you. So all of these different elements are what we try to throw at anyone that does come into us.
The Business Development Unit was launched as part of a forum called Going Against the Grain. This forum featured a panel of women who have either successfully started their own businesses or are engaged in fulfilling vocations traditionally dominated by men.
A lot of women seem to think, and it's not just women, it's society as a whole, seem to think that if a woman decides that she's going to go into something as construction or into small business, small engine repairs, that's a man's job, and a woman shouldn't get into an area like that.
I guess it's all about taking a chance, but at the same time, knowing that we're there to guide them along the way. A lot of persons you can obviously afraid of the risk, especially when it comes to starting a business. People may see it, people may say, okay, yes, I want to start a business, without really knowing what it all entails. They may be young and they may say, I don't want to work for anyone. But at the same time, to be an entrepreneur, which part of the definition is taking risk to be successful. A lot of persons are fearful of that, and knowing that here at the God Center, the Business Development Unit, the support that we try to bring on our cadre of persons such as mentors, professional links outside, can be with them, guide them along the way so that they know that, okay, I'm not just running this alone. The simplest things that you're doing right now in your home is like a business, but not even being considered as a business. Like someone baking a few cakes over a weekend. You may do it as a hobby and you sell them, or you're doing it for some friends and you're still selling them. But did you realize that if you looked at what you're making based off of that and what you're putting in, the little you put in to make a greater output, it's nearly like a small weekly salary if you look at it. And some persons may not even realize, hey, I do have a job here already, but I'm thinking of something else that I may not even be that au fait with, So it's trying to let them realize the simplest of things that you can really be doing to start a business. Even if it's just a bunch of kids around you during the day and their parents just give you a few bucks to take care of them. It's like a small scale business, but you can even take that and elevate it.
The GUARD Business Development Unit is funded by the European Union. Assistance for young entrepreneurs, both male and female, between the ages of 16 to 35 is free.
And that's the biggest invitation and attraction that really should be there. And I think a lot of young people out there, especially young women, should see that as, I don't even have to pay for this. Even if it's a course and I'm going to be able to improve my lifestyle in some way of skill or whatever, just come.
The Young Women Empowerment Program has been tremendously successful for those who have participated in the training program. But don't take our word for it. Just listen to these heart-stirring testimonials.
I first heard about the program listening to the radio, and it was just like an open mind, just like a dream come true. To just hear like things is actually out there, for women.
I was at home for a while doing nothing, so I heard about the advertisement for it, so I decided to go ahead and sign up for the course. I applied, and when I went up there, the course I really wanted to take was IT, but the IT course was full, so I got into business enterprise, which was a surprising course because it was, at the time, I was talking to my fiance about opening up an internet cafe. So getting into that course and what I wanted to do with myself as a self-employed person, it was kind of a blessing for me.
It's something that I've been doing since childhood. We've been in agriculture, you've seen the weeding, you've seen the plowing, you see the plants grow from seeds. They're a pest, you see a plant die, but you might not know why the plant died. You might not know why this pest loves this plant. Being at God Center, I get to understand, okay, when a plant is dying, it's lack of nutrients, lack of nitrogen, and there are some things that you can add to it, a fertilizer that you can add to it to boost it up. At God Center, I even get the acknowledgement to even be able to identify the names of pests, what chemicals to use.
Anything that has to do with IT, I'm involved. I love computers. anything that I do on the company, I love that. And secondly, I was just home. I didn't have anything to do. I finished from school and I can't get a job. So I said, why not just take this course? And it's just so happened that it was something that I love, so I just grabbed the chance and the opportunity that I get.
Through God Center, it gave me the opportunity to fulfill my goals in terms of like learning to do like budding and grafting, and giving me certain knowledge to pursue my dream in agriculture.
The course, it was wonderful. I had two wonderful teachers, Mrs. Ahmad and Miss Andrews. Miss Ahmad taught me business, enterprise, the management part, and Mrs. Andrews, she taught us the IT part of it. So it was a blessing because I still got to do IT as well as the business management.
You can see the benefit of it because you can take your produce to the market, and from a seed you can able to get, you know, money, some sort of income, and because you're feeding the people, it gives you the opportunity to feed your nation, yourself, and in the future you can export. And thank you to God Center getting all this knowledge, all our tutors, in particular Mrs. Ford, who gives us the knowledge on how to handle your produce after harvesting. Yes, you care for it in the field, but after, it's a lot of technical work put into caring for the fruits and vegetables.
I can tell you that it's already benefiting me because based on everything that I've learned, that my teacher taught me, at Social Security, that's where I'm at right now, they have been testing me. So they've been giving me so many things to do, like in Excel, they want me to create formulas for them, signs, and that's in Microsoft, with a lot of stuff. Even though they've given me something to do, but they always have some extra part. They say, oh, Patricia said she's good on computers, so let her do this and let her do that. And I have to thank my teacher, Mr. Tom. He's taught me a lot. And now I've decided I want to be a Microsoft Office specialist.
So if you get the opportunity to do the course, I would recommend you to go ahead and do it, because you will learn a lot and you'd have a wonderful experience, and you would meet a lot of people that can help you further your life.
I'm Mitzi Allen. Thank you for watching. For more information on the Young Women Empowerment Program, contact the Guard Center at 463-4121 or visit our website at gardc.org or visit us on Facebook at Facebook.com/Guard Center.